Welcome to the course Network Security. I'm Dr. Munir Umar. Today we will be studying the physical layer security attacks and countermeasures. These are the contents of our today's lecture. First, we will have the introduction to physical layer security. Here we will discuss that why the physical layer security is as important as other layer security. Then the attack vectors and threats. So here we will have the comprehensive taxonomy of physical layer attacks. These include the eavesdropping, jamming, hardware tampering, and some other advanced attacks. Then the wiretapping and eavesdropping will be discussed. We have some other advanced topics also here to be discussed. So we will discuss these as per the fiber optics, copper cables, and also the wireless signals. Then the jamming and interference will be discussed. Both the active and passive attacks in all these will be discussed. After that, we will have the countermeasures and defenses, how the detect, prevent, and response systems can be made, uh, the sophisticated system against these attacks. All these will be discussed, and at the end we will have the best practices and future directions. So this lecture is divided into two parts. In the first part we will cover the attack related topics, and in the second part we will have the countermeasures and defenses. So, in the previous slides, we talked about the attacks associated with the physical layer. Now, the question is, how do we defend against these physical level attacks? So, in this slide, we are studying the physical layer countermeasures. So, the first thing is, what is physical layer security? The physical layer security focuses on protecting data at the hardware and transmission level, not just the software. Even if encryption and firewalls are strong, attackers still can tap the cables, intercept the signals, or physically access the infrastructure. So we need to defend at the physical level. Now, the physical protection. This is the first line of defense. The goal is to prevent attackers from physically reaching cables or devices. So we can have armored fiber cables, uh, secure conduits, and tamper evident exclosures. So for fiber cables, we can have reinforced with steel and Kevlar. We can protect these cables with extra covers made of steel or some Kevlar. That the Kevlar is a kind of braided shield made of cotton like thing. So it will make the cables resistant to cutting, bending, and environmental damage. So in this way, we will strengthen the fiber cables. Not only the fiber cables, All the copper cables can also be strengthened by using extra protection shields. So this is very common for outdoor installation. For secure conduits, cables placed inside locked trays, underground ducts, sealed pathways. So, in this way, we can prevent unauthorized access to these conduits. Next is tamper evident exclosures. So, sealed boxes can be used for cable joints, for distribution panels, even for some devices like access points or routers. So, if someone opens them, it leaves evidence or triggers alerts. Now, the question is encryption enough if someone can physically cut and access the cable? Definitely no. The encryption cannot give protection against the physical damage. Next is the encryption at physical layer. Unlike normal encryption, that is actually at the software level, this works directly on signal. So, what we do in this type of encryption, we encode data using light phase. We encode it using the signal amplitude. So, without correct synchronization, data cannot be decoded. We can use photic laser signals, so only receiver with correct synchronization can decode. But in this case, the attackers will see some sort of random noise. In case of quantum key distribution, uh, it is referred as QKD. So it is based on quantum mechanics. We have some protocols BB84, E91. These protocols can be used, and if someone tries to intercept, the communication is distributed and detected automatically. This is actually a kind of theoretical security that is based on quantum mechanics. So the physical layer encryption makes interception useless even if signals are captured. Next is monitoring systems. Now we are actually moving from prevention to detection. Here we have the OPM, optical performance monitoring, machine learning based anomaly detection, and OTDR, that is optical time domain refractometry. So the optical performance monitoring. The main tracks are signal power, noise level, signal quality. These detects even very small changes in the signal. Then the ML based anomaly detection. We can use auto encoders, we can use AI models, and can learn the normal patterns. So, in this way, we can detect the abnormal behavior and also the possible attacks. The OTDR monitoring, this can be used to detect the cable damage and can be used to locate tapping points with high accuracy. It's like sending a signal down a cable and checking where it gets disturbed. Next is access control. Data centers can be protected by biometrics, security gates, and 24 by 7 surveillance. For personnel control, we can have the background checks, security clearances, and need to know access. And for audit trails, uh, we can track incidents, we can investigate, we will have logs that who accessed what and when they accessed. So, putting it all together, this explains very clearly that physical layer security is not one solution. It is combination of multiple defenses. The physical protection stops the access. The encryption protects the data. The monitoring detects the attacks, and access control limits the human risks. So now let's have a real life analogy. Think about a bank. Like in bank, we will have thick walls, so that is physical protection, locked safe, that is a kind of encryption, cameras, we can say cameras can be used for monitoring, and guards, they are used for access control. So for physical attacks, particularly advanced physical attacks like Tempest, we must secure not only software but also the physical infrastructure. So, in the previous slide, we studied about the physical countermeasures, that how can we protect the infrastructure. But the modern attacks are smarter. So the next question is, how do we detect attacks in real time and respond immediately? This is very important. Like the attacks should be detected in real time. Like when the attack happened, so immediately it should be detected and immediately it should be responded. So this is where the advanced defense mechanisms come in. First, the intelligent monitoring systems. Modern security doesn't rely only on hardware, it uses intelligence. So, the key idea is to combine machine learning and signal processing to detect the attacks instantly. So, how does it work? Systems monitor signals at microsecond level. They analyze the power levels, signal patterns, and noise variations. Even tiny anomalies can indicate tapping, jamming, or physical tampering. So, what is the machine learning role over here? We have the auto encoders. They learn normal network behavior and then they can detect unusual patterns. Then we have by GRU networks. They capture the temporal patterns in attack sequences, like they analyze sequences over time and identify attack patterns. So, by using uh, such methods, we can say that the detection accuracy can be about 96%, and it will have very low false alarms. So, the simple explanation for this class is like it's like a security guard who knows normal behavior and instantly notices anything that is unusual. Now, if we look at the machine learning performance, then we have some metrics. So the ML detection performance highlight these key metrics clearly. Attack classification. System can detect five types of attacks, such as signal gain manipulation, filter sweep attacks, out of band interferences, amplifier overload, and in band jamming. Detection latency, that is less than 100 milliseconds. It means that attack is detected almost instantly. So this is a real time response and it is possible. Next is signal randomization techniques. So we have spectrum randomization and phase randomization. Actually, we are moving from detection to uh, making the attacks harder. Spectrum randomization. Signal frequency keeps changing rapidly. Only legitimate users know the pattern. So attackers cannot lock onto the signal. In phase randomization, the signal phase is continuously modified. So this requires synchronization to decode. So without the key, signal looks like noise. It's like constantly changing the language of communication so the outsiders can't understand it. Next is optical line protection. This is automatic response. So, what is OLP actually? In OLP, the system automatically switches to backup fiber line. It is triggered when attack detected or the cable is damaged. The key features are like the switching time less than 50 milliseconds, so no service interruption. Users don't even notice the attack. It's like a GPS rerouting traffic instantly when a road is blocked. Now, the defense in depth strategy. This is the most important concept. It emphasizes the security strongly. So, security must happen in multiple layers. These are prevention, detection, response, and recovery. So, in prevention, we have the physical barriers, armored cables, and secure facilities. For detection, we have optical monitoring, machine learning systems, OTDR analysis. In response, we have automatic switching, traffic rerouting, and incident handling. And in the last recovery, we have repair the damaged fibers, investigate attacks, that is forensics, and update the security measures. So, no signal defense is enough. Security must be layered. Now, let's have a real life example. Imagine a fiber cable is tapped by an attacker. So, what will happen? The detection system notices signal anomaly. The machine learning flags it as an attack. OLP switches to backup fiber. Security team investigates. So, in this way, there will be no data loss and no service disruption. So, now let's summarize everything we have learned. The devices leak signal, we protect infrastructure, we detect and respond in real time. In modern cybersecurity, it's not enough to build strong walls, but we must also detect intruders instantly and respond before damage occurs. Now, I have a question. If an attack lasts only 1 second, but detection takes 5 seconds, is the system secured? I think no, because the speed of detection is critical, so it should be detected immediately. So, in the previous slide, we understood that how attackers can exploit electromagnetic signals through tempest attacks. Now, the key question is, how do we stop attackers from capturing or using these signals? This leads to tempest protection strategies. The main goal of tempest protection is to reduce signal emissions below detectable levels or make intercepted signals useless. So, even if an attacker tries to listen, they hear nothing, or they hear something that is meaningless, and that is noise. So we have multi-layered defense approach. The tempest protection is not one technique. In fact, it combines shielding, filtering, isolation, secure facility design, and all these work together. Now, the shielding techniques. This is the most important and visible defense. Here we have Faraday cages, tempest rated equipment, and conductive coating. So the first one is Faraday cages. Conductive enclosures that block electromagnetic signals. So it can be used for entire room or for the equipment cabinets. It requires proper grounding, no gaps or leaks. The simple explanation is like putting your device inside a metal box that blocks signals. The Tempest rated equipment. It is specially, these are actually specially designed devices. Um, these can be computers, printers, network systems, and so many other devices. And these are built to minimize signal leakage and meet strict security standards. The conductive coating, metallic paint or films are applied to walls, windows, equipment. So careful for upgrading existing building without full reconstruction. Next is filtering and isolation. Even if signals are generated, we must stop them from escaping. So the first one is power line filters. Prevent signals from leaking through electric to prevent signals from leaking through electrical lines. It is important because attackers can use power cables as a leakage path. Data line filters. Protect network cables using optical isolators, filtered connectors. So, in this way, we ensure that data doesn't leak through transmission lines. Then, the red black separation. Red is used for classified systems, and black can be used for unclassified systems. So the rule is quite simple: keep them physically and electrically separate. Like we will have separate places for red and black systems. So, why? It is actually to prevent signal mixing or leakage between the systems. Then we have SCIF design principles. Sensitive compartmented information facility. This is a kind of high security environment used by military intelligence agencies. The key features are shielded walls, floors, ceilings, and these are RF shielded doors and windows, the radio frequency shielded doors and windows, filtered HVAC systems, Tempest certified equipment, and regular testing and certification. An SCIF is a room designed so that no signal can escape or no signal can enter. We have NATO standard, that is SDIP 27. Tempest protection follows strict standard like this one, the NATO SDIP 27. It defines the security levels, testing procedures, equipment requirements. So the compliance is mandatory in highly security environment. Putting all together, to stop tempest attacks, we must block signal through shielding, stop leakage through filtering, separate systems through isolation, and secure environment through SCIF design. Now let's have a real life example. Imagine a government office handling classified data. So the room is shielded, that is Faraday cage. Devices are Tempest certified. Power lines are filtered. Systems are isolated. So the result will be, even if someone tries to intercept signals, they get nothing useful. So we reached at the end of the lecture. As we know that physical layer is a part of communication system, and its security cannot be an optional. So it's foundational, and organizations must implement defense in depth strategies, combining the physical protection, the prevention, and continuous response and monitoring systems, also equipped with the encryption and access control. So, as we know that with the advancements in systems, the techniques are also evolving. So the defense system should be enhanced regularly against these advanced attack techniques. So the investment in physical layer security is also vital and very important, because we want our systems to be confidential and we want these systems to be available all the time. So we must have to protect, monitor, and respond with these attacks. So in the next lecture, we will look into another layer, that is data link layer security and countermeasure. Okay, from now it's over. Thank you for watching and listening. See you in the next lecture. Bye bye.